Welcome, Paul Sobel, as the chairman of the COSO committee here. It's really a pleasure to have you with us.
So thank you very much. Again, a great pleasure is mine here. I'm really looking forward to further discussion about this wonderful event.
Pleasure. It's so great to have you for an interview and that you have time for us. Probably we may bridge a little bit if we talk about continuing education in there. So we naturally want to talk today a little bit about gamified training. So what do you think? Will this become a bigger topic in the future?
Well, I certainly hope so, and I think probably what these championships are demonstrating. This is really I think a large test case for it, is how valuable this type of training can be. I hope this is something that we see as becoming the norm for training in the future. I can imagine going to an international conference in the future, and while there will certainly continue to be presentations that help you gain knowledge, I could imagine there's also, gamified training sessions that help you with the application and maybe a more rapid learning of it. So, I know there's some investment that's going to be made here, but I think, just based on everything I've heard to date and that I'm sure will be experienced this weekend with this competition, I think it's really proving the business case for gamified training. And, my hopes are that this becomes the norm for training in the future. And as I said before, it's really the future of training. And fortunately, it is here today.
That sounds amazing. So if we think about what do you think is the greater topic on motivation with serious business games, as so many people of different countries are joining?
Yeah, I think, first of all, part of it is, a lot of, I'm an older generation, but, a lot of the people earlier in their careers have grown up with gaming. So the concept is very natural to them. And I think they relate to it very well. I think part of the motivation is it's fun. I mean, learning can be fun. And that's probably one of the keys. It's not viewed as a chore. But I think, if you look at it perhaps from the perspective of chief audit executives, those leading functions and those who, perhaps are responsible for the budgets around training, I think they will look at it and say, this is just a more effective way to get our people trained. This is a more effective way to help make sure that they are future ready, that they can, be very, very effective in trying to help our organization succeed. And so I think that motivation that's, driving chief audit executives and other audit leaders, along with just the natural motivation of, hey, it's fun, it's going to help my career. I think combining those together makes this really a serious approach for the future.
The interesting topic is at the ARC Institute or Global Audit Research Center, on our 10 years track record, we have researched that how Rainer called it last time on LinkedIn, the silver liners have a 20% higher on average performance than the other parts or categories in the standard deviation in there or distribution. So probably you have seen so much as COSO chairman as well as chairman of the IAA Global Board and different developments. Would you enjoy serious business game training?
I actually think I really would. It got me thinking way back when I went to university, and I'm getting pretty old now. We're talking a few decades ago. In my first year business class, they actually had a form of a game where we had to make decisions about how much to invest in marketing, how much to invest in research and development, a variety of business decisions. And those inputs would go into a computer system and we'd get results. And it lasted most of a semester. But I probably remember more from that course than I remember from really any other course that I took at university. And so now I can imagine how you can accelerate that semester of gaming into, maybe a few hours. And it kind of boggles my mind But yes, I think it would be extremely rewarding, extremely fun, and extremely helpful for me to start, learning new things. It's the sort of thing that even though I've, again, retired kind of full time from my career, I'm still, busy in retirement doing things. And I can imagine that, I'd like to experience some of this type of training myself to help me stay current and relevant. And, Dominic, you and I have talked about, I could even see the potential of this being, some gamified training around COSO and its frameworks. I mean, I just think the applications are so widespread that, for me, I think I'd enjoy it a lot.
That's really a fantastic topic, and we would be pleased to support the COSO framework and the COSO committee and the sponsoring organizations, which is really an honor to work together on that, because I think COSO is the most important risk or enterprise risk framework globally in the meantime, and I enjoy myself working on that base. And probably if we connect that, as you already said, in conjunction with the Audit Championship, what do you think is probably the feeling or the special topic, as people are watching us from all the different countries? What do you think is the specific type of thing with the Audit Championship?
Yeah, I think this is such a great idea. It reminds me a little bit of Eurocup football championships. I've been following on LinkedIn a lot of the comments that you or Rainer have posted initially, and how people have responded to that. And it's very clear to me that there's an excitement around learning, but there's also a very high level of excitement around each and every country, that people are supporting their country. They're supporting the people who are representing their country. And I think that kind of nationalism is great. It's really exciting to see. It's rallying people around still a learning cause, but again, making it fun. Again, making it almost more like the Eurocup. So I think that's really been what's I found very special, is kind of following all of those comments. I know the final competition this weekend is going to be great itself, and that'll be a lot of fun. But just the lead up to it, the build up to it, again, reminds me of a major sporting event, and how every country, has they're so patriotic and loyal to their team.
So to look forward a little bit ahead, probably to 2022 and 2023. So what could be a good scenario, as you are talking about the probably UEFA Cup, which is the European Cup, but as we have seen on LinkedIn and other social medias already, there are demanding nations from Latin America or Africa. What could be a good topic or good scenario for the next steps in your point of view?
Yeah, and I hope this does play out. I think we're seeing, how successful things are in Europe right now, that I really believe that this should roll out to the other continents as well. It could be, maybe in the U.S. it's a competition among chapters, but can make it a whole North America competition. Some sort of Copa competition for Latin America and South America. Africa, I'm sure, would embrace this very much. Asia, I'm sure as well. And the nice thing is that most of this can be handled virtually. So it is, again, that's part of today's world we live in, that we have to understand and respect the fact that maybe travel won't be quite as frequent in the future it was in the past. But I really would like to see and expect to see that, again, these different countries and continents will try to have a competition similar to what you've done. And then ultimately, I don't know if we can hope for it in 2023, but it would be great if there was truly a global championship where you bring in the winners together and compete. I think that would be great for Audit Channel TV, great for YouTube. I think it would be watched around the world. It'd be great for the profession. And frankly, I think this is the sort of thing that may help recruiting into the internal audit profession as well. That I believe some of this can, not only be played back at the university level, but some of this training can be applied at the university level as well. And it'll help students understand, really how, wonderful a career in internal audit can be, how much fun it can be, how rewarding it can be. Again, I think really the sky's the limit, or I should say the globe is the limit for where this can go in the future.
That's amazing. We are really pleased to support our internal audit profession with this audit movement. And it's so great to get so much feedback from the different countries. So probably as the people are watching us today from different countries and different nations, what could be a key message to the people?
Well, first of all, and I've mentioned this a couple times before, but make sure you're having fun. I mean, it's great that learning can be fun. Enjoy the competition, but in the end, remember, this is still about learning. This is still about experiences. This is still about getting better, and make sure that you embrace that. Embrace it for what it is. And by the end of the weekend, I know there will be a champion that will be crowned, but I think everybody that is here has earned their right to be here, has demonstrated, how good they can be through a training like this in their profession. And I think you all have a right to be very, very proud of what you've accomplished for now, and that you can be a springboard for those accomplishments in other countries in the future. So thank you and good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much, Paul, to be with us here. It's really a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you again for taking time for us and opening this large grand final for the European Audit Championship. Thanks.
Thank you. Again, my pleasure to be here, and I wish you all the success over the weekend.
you.